So we took a field trip today and went searching for a coffee table for our Eichler, which is a mid-century modern home. And we didn't quite find what we were looking for as we scoured the consignment stores in the greater Palm Springs area. Instead, this is what we found.
Not that there wasn't good stuff to be found.
And not so good stuff.
And even more that didn't fit the bill. We are Zeke and Terri, empty nest travel adventurers from the San Francisco Bay Area.
In our videos, we share how two totally different people with completely different expectations for travel plan, compromise, and deepen our relationship as we travel the world, mostly together.
So guess what? AI isn't perfect. We searched for mid-century modern consignment furniture stores and ended up in a closely related category of antique shop. So if I needed comic books or used cast iron skillets
Or Star Wars paraphernalia,
I would have found it perfectly, but we weren't looking for that.
nope. It was absolutely fascinating to see some of this furniture. Some of it was huge, and we can't even imagine the size of the houses that could accommodate furniture of this size, or some of the weird things that we bumped into. There was definitely some custom stuff that was in these places, and it'll be interesting to see who sees them as, you know, treasures, because a lot of the consignment stores that we saw down here had very hefty prices. There were no bargains to be found.
It's a wide variety of tastes, none of which are mine.
Nope.
In Palm Springs proper, we went to Blackburn Studios, Revivals, Sunny Dunes Antique Mall, Swag, and Estate Sale.
Revivals is a chain of 4 upscale thrift stores with a flagship store in Palm Springs where we went. It's known as the Mid-Century Modern Haven.
What we didn't know is that they are part of DAP Health, formerly known as Desert AIDS Project, with all proceeds from the stores directly benefiting healthcare services for over 7,000 people in the Coachella Valley. Swag is a small shop across from Sunny Dunes with what appeared to be a well-curated collection and very nice owners.
Estate Sale was a behemoth with multiple buildings that just kept going and going and going.
Nestled up against the mountains, there was furniture inside and out, and it was a bit overwhelming. We'll let the pictures do the talking.
The Perez Art District on Perez Street in Cathedral City was by far our favorite spot. There's a mix of consignment stores and galleries with extraordinary art, furniture, and decor.
At-Hom specializes in vintage, mid-century, and modern design and has a wide and large variety to choose from. They buy, sell, and trade vintage furniture, accessories, collectibles, and vinyl records.
I loved everything in Gilded Owl. Owner Andy Goldsboro curates an evolving selection of small goods exclusively for this gallery. This was not a consignment store, but we couldn't resist exploring despite everything being outside of our price range.
There are museum quality items that appear to be non-functional, but Andy assured us that they were.
Spaces features vintage mid-century furnishings and decor, as well as other unique decorative items.
This coffee table was the closest we found to what we were looking for.
Object Culture features a unique and eclectic mix of vintage and contemporary modern art and design, including furniture, lighting, and decor.
They appear to have a rotating exhibition room, and while we were there, we saw the Anne Seidman Generative Abstraction exhibit.
Very cool. I did find the perfect coffee table in JC Studio, but I really couldn't get past the $8,000 price tag.
Yes, this was definitely a high-end furnishing and art gallery that was not only well outside our price range, but also didn't fit into the mid-century modern aesthetic that we are looking for.
It was all too polished for our modest Eichler.
Celebrity and Stage to Sell are in the same strip mall in Cathedral City off Highway 111.
Since we were looking for mid-century modern between the years 1955 and 1970, once again, we didn't find what we were looking for.
Misty's is a local favorite that several of our friends have found a number of things at.
With many of these places, you have to be looking up and down to not only see everything, but to avoid knocking things over.
Our final stop was in Palm Desert at Private Collection, a high-end consignment store on El Paseo, a mile-long shopping street dotted with boutiques, spas, restaurants, and art galleries.
El Paseo is known as the Rodeo Drive of the desert, and I found a few things that I loved, but they just didn't fit the vibe. By the end of the day, we were exhausted and overwhelmed. We traveled south along Highway 111, stopping to explore 14 different consignment stores and galleries, and we hadn't purchased anything, which is really a tough thing for me because I am a buyer, not a shopper.
We realized that our definition of mid-century modern is somewhat different from the Palm Springs definition. This became even more obvious as we toured the Sunmore Estates as part of Modernism Week, which we will discuss in our Modernism Week video.
I also wondered why there were so many consignment stores in the Coachella Valley. After doing a little research, I learned that there are a few factors that contribute to this, including the constant influx of people either retiring or seasonal folks looking to refresh their living spaces.
The valley is known for its luxurious second homes and vacation properties. When homeowners decide to update their interiors or downsize, they often turn to consignment stores to sell their gently used furniture, art, and accessories.
The Coachella Valley also has a vibrant art scene with artists, collectors, and enthusiasts. Consignment stores often feature one-of-a-kind art pieces, making them a treasure trove for art lovers. Artists may also consign their work, providing exposure and a chance for others to appreciate their creations.
We also learned that it can be a full-time hobby to search through the stores to find these so-called treasures.
My mom had commented on how expensive these stores were even a decade ago, and we found that same thing too. We thought we'd be able to find a bargain, and either we weren't looking hard enough or they just don't exist.
At the end of the day, it was great to explore more of the area that we'd seen previously.
In all of our trips to Palm Springs, we've rarely ventured beyond the Palm Springs Tennis Club and downtown Palm Springs because we were there with kids.
Except for the one-day adventures we would do every year, like the Tram, Living Desert, Air Museum, Palm Canyon, Joshua Tree, and the Art Museum.
There's really so much to do down here that if you don't watch out, you won't have enough time on the tennis court or to relax by the pool.
Even a month hasn't been long enough to do half the things on our list.
So thanks for coming along with us as we shared our extensive tour of the consignment stores in Palm Springs, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, and Palm Desert.
If you like this video and want to follow us on our 28 days of living in Palm Springs, check out our shorts from February 2024.
And now back to navigating our lives and the world together.